Hi, and welcome to Matcha with Murad, where I, Murad, talk to other creatives about their process, what drives them to make their art, and anything else we find interesting along the way. So join me here every week for a new and inspiring story, and sometimes a quick heart-to-heart from yours truly. You are listening to Matcha with Murad. Hello guys, and welcome to this wonderful Tuesday. I am sitting here with my dandelion tea, sipping my tea, and just thinking about what I want to talk to you guys about today, because this is my first podcast, just me, just talking to you guys, and I'm really excited about it because I want this to become a regular thing. I want to be able to just sit down and chat with you guys. So I thought I could start with what's been on my mind lately as a creative, and that is making money with your art. You know, some people are really fortunate to land this really naturally, and it comes very quickly to them in their careers. They just get to start making money from what they love, and it just happens. But for me, and I'm sure many other people, it's been more of a struggle. And I think there's a few different reasons for that. So I kind of want to talk about that today and just my own job searching lately and how it has me feeling personally. I have been searching for jobs lately on LinkedIn. I just started making a Fiverr account. I have been looking through family and friends, and I've been doing this for a long time. And I kind of go in and out of it, where sometimes I do it every single day and then I kind of lose interest again and go back to just, being creative and not really searching for ways to make money with it. And then I get really antsy again and then go through and start looking for jobs. So I think the antsiness or the anxiety around making money from what I went to school for, which, if you don't know, is audio engineering, and that is the science and tech behind recording, mixing, mastering, all of that good stuff when it comes to film, commercials, sound effects, music, obviously, and radio, television, everything. It's just the umbrella of audio. But I think some of that anxiety comes from the fact that I am now 3 years out of college, which feels wild to me, and I feel robbed by 2020. But I think it's hard when you see your friends getting jobs in what they love and what they went to school for. And funny enough, a lot of them actually do not have jobs in what we went to school for, but they're still finding their way into their careers, right? And a lot of them have different paths than than a lot of creatives that I know. They're more interested in creating wealth and a family and acquiring property and things like that, and working up more of a corporate type business. Whereas I've always been a very entrepreneurial mind, and I think I get that from my dad. My dad is just like that too. It's very difficult for him to work for other people. For me, it's not so difficult to work for other people. It's just hard for me to give all my time to someone else. So I serve on the side of doing all of my music because I find it's the smartest way to work for someone else, because you feel like an entrepreneur in a way, and also you don't usually work the same hours that a 9-to-5er does, and it allows you a little bit more freedom. So I get this antsiness because I think I have these expectations on myself once I start looking a little bit more outwardly at other people, and I realize that they are starting to figure it out, quote unquote, their careers and their paths. And it just makes me feel like I'm not figuring it out because I'm spending so much time working on my music career and looking for audio things. But at the same time, I think there's a little part of me that doesn't think I'm qualified. It's like an imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm not actually fully qualified to do what I went to school for sometimes. And I think other people have made me feel that way in my degree, because it's a very male-dominated degree or major, I guess. And everyone does act like they know what they're doing. Everyone is very ego driven, I guess. And so that just made me immediately feel like, well, I must not know what I'm doing because I still have so much to learn. When in reality, in my field, you're always learning something new. There's always more to learn. There's always more new plugins coming out, new ways to mix, new ways to master, new ways to record. So, I think I've had this imposter syndrome for a long time that I'm not actually qualified to do what I studied for 4 years and have done ever since. But the truth is I am. And so I think a part of me doubts myself a little bit when I'm applying for these jobs. But in the end, I need to learn that most people, when they're applying for a job, they're only qualified to do about 40% of what they can actually that the job description says, and the rest they're just like willing to learn and willing to act like they know what they're doing. And I think I need a little bit more of that mentality with my audio jobs, because it would be really nice to be doing audio on the side with my music rather than serving, because then I could actually be furthering my knowledge of what I'm passionate about, which is editing and mixing, as well as writing and singing. So that's been on my mind heavily lately. And I'm sure a lot of artists or creatives can relate to that, because it's difficult to find a job in creative fields. And a lot of the time, we are becoming our own entrepreneurs, I think. We are creating our own businesses and freelancing, which is definitely being an entrepreneur. And that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to be brave and to start your own business and to go against the natural grain of society where you go to college, you get a job, you work for a company, you work there for years, you get raises, you get promotions, you build a family, you have a house. And don't get me wrong, I want to have a house. I want to have investment properties and I want to have a family one day, but I want to do it with my own business, and I want to make music, and I want to inspire people. I want to talk to you guys every day. I want to make videos. I want to get to travel and play music. I want to get over my own fears and get to live out my own passions because of it. So I'm sorry, I have so much mouth noise today. So that being said, I think that was one of my pivotal moments, is realizing this imposter syndrome that I have with my own degree that I went to school for and that I do to this day. And yes, it's true. I have a lot of room for improvement. I can totally admit that to myself. But the bottom line is, I never said I had to be the best anything. I didn't say I had to be the best audio engineer. I didn't say I have to be the best singer or the best video editor or anything like that. I just need to be able to do it. And I know I can do it. So this is just another result of me being too hard on myself and underestimating my abilities and overestimating other people's. So I don't know if this also is something you experience, but something that's helping me along the way with my process and in my process of making music, in my process of editing, of all of it, is just reassuring myself that this is what I love. This is the career I've chosen. This is what I want to do with my life, and I am capable of it. I am doing it right now, and I will always be getting better, and that should be celebrated. And just alone that gratitude for my own choice, my own career choice, and being just like, wow, I am so happy that I get to do this every day. I am so lucky that I get to make music every day, instead of being like, oh, what if it's not good enough? What if people don't like this? What if, the video quality isn't good enough, or the audio quality, or I'm not singing well enough? Or what if people think the song I made is stupid? What if my podcasts don't do well? What if I'm not qualified to edit that person's audiobook? All of these daunting questions of negativity and self-doubt that naturally circulate. There's really no reason for them, but they're going to come. And so what matters is how you talk to yourself more. Do you tell yourself that you are not capable of it more than you tell yourself you are? And that's something I've been working on, is every day just telling myself that I chose this and I love this and this is what I do and I am capable of all of it. And it's just helping to overcome those little thoughts that try to get into your head. And the more and more you tell yourself what you are capable of, I do believe that we will all find our way in what our passions are. So that is something that's really helped me along my own process recently. And I'm determined to do all of it, to be able to post consistently and to be able to make music and share it with you guys consistently. I have been doing music forever, but in a serious fashion with the intentions of releasing since I was 22, so 3 years ago. And I've only put one song out. So I am going forward with the intention of actually releasing much more for you guys. I have so many songs and music videos and, just podcasting and YouTube, just letting you guys see honestly what I do on a daily basis and how much work really goes into all of this stuff. So if you are struggling in the same way with your creative process, where you're living in fear every day, and you let another day go by where you're thinking about what you need to do and you think you're putting time into it, but you haven't put it out yet, trust me when I say you'll feel much better if you just put it out. It might not be perfect, but it is ready. It is what you can do now, and it is ready for the world to see it. And on the other side of that, it's okay to also accept that things take time. So I can be a very impatient person, but I have also accepted that it did take me 3 years to get to the point where I have this much music and I have a sound I really believe in, and I'm ready. And I could not have had that overnight. I could have put things out and found it over time, and that would have been okay too. But you have to be okay with the fact that we're all on different time frames. Time is not linear. We experience things at different rates, and you have to be okay with the fact that someone else might be ready to put out a whole album in a week, but it might take you 3 years. If you are starting your own, website design business, it might take you 2 years to put it together, and someone else was an overnight success. And you have to accept that. You can't compare yourself outwardly, because if you keep comparing yourself outwardly like I do often, you will just find yourself living through other people's lives and putting everything you do on hold. And that's not worth it. You need to look inside. All the answers you need to actually fulfill your own dreams and get over your own fears are right inside of you. So spend a little bit more time looking in there and looking at what you need to do rather than looking at what everyone else is doing and focusing on what you haven't done. So I have been turning my camera on more and closing my phone, or putting my phone away and closing my computer more often, because I'm like, I want to create more vlogs for you guys and more real footage and capture me working on my music and capture all the little everyday things. And that's felt so much more rewarding than me watching other people's YouTube videos or being on Instagram and yada, yada, yada. So trust me when I say that the answers are inside of you. And if you're struggling with making money, doing what you love, finding a job, or just creating your own job, all the answers are right in front of you. And they're just waiting for you to accept them and be grateful. Just for you to be grateful for what you have to do and then enjoy doing it. All right, guys, this was my first podcast, and it's so nice to just sit down and talk. I do think that this is going to be really good for me to do at least once a week for you guys, and I'm excited about it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I kind of think it'd be cool to do a guest podcast once a week and a personal Murad's thoughts. So let me know what you guys think. They'll probably be a little scattery at first while I'm finding my footing. It's pretty weird to just talk into the universe, into my microphone. But I'm not writing anything down. I'm really just trying to be conscious and speak to you guys like I would speak to my best friends. So I appreciate you guys listening. I hope you enjoy these, and there are going to be many more to come. So have a wonderful week. Put something out this week. I don't know, or do something. Just do something that you know you've been putting off for yourself, no matter what it is. All right. Love you guys. As always, thanks for listening to Matcha with Murad. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, subscribe, review, or share this with your friends. Again, thanks for listening, and talk to you guys next week.